This is awesome.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, man.
Congrats.
Some old guys, man.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I don't know about this whole aging thing, but
I know. It sucks. How old are you?
47.
47. I got you about a year. This blows, doesn't it?
We just keep on swinging.
Right.
This turned out nice.
Yeah, it came out pretty good. I'm happy. A couple little updates that since before. New alternator. Those Meckman alternator guys. I met them down in Texas, and
It really does look like a nice piece.
Isn't it great?
Like it looks.
It makes so much power too.
It looks.
So
great.
while I had it apart, I ran wire all the way back. I'm running dual batteries way in the back. There's big 250 amp breakers on both of them. Like that's my
Batteries are
biggest fear.
sweet. That's not on the list.
My biggest fear is this thing burning to the ground
Yeah,
because I've had it a long time.
it is sweet. It's on the FT550, right?
Yeah.
Fueltech.
Yep.
Gosh, it really turned out nice. And you ripped this with Josh, right?
Say it again.
You ripped this with Josh in his
Yeah.
truck.
So Josh and I met at the Good Guys here in town like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And when his truck was in show truck mode still, when it had the LSA 5.3
Yeah.
in it. So, yeah.
This thing just turned out so cool.
And all I've done, that's how I ended up at your place, because all I've done is handling stuff. Like, it's just a junkyard 6-liter with, L92 heads and a big cam in it. And so I came to you and said, hey, you think we can get a little couple more power out of it? And you said, yeah, if you buy a fueltech. So here we are.
It did turn out really good in the dash like that.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
In the
So
center
this little deal here goes over the top of it, and then so the plan is
We just had to redo some wiring, so that's why it's off. It was
Yeah.
all on a little bit ago.
ultimately the plan is that this thing will have a full-on like Singer Porsche quality interior in it,
Oh,
and it's still going to be ratty and ugly on the outside. So you open the door, and you're
right. You're just blown away.
yeah.
Gosh, that's cool.
I got some old 80s Recaro seats that we're going to cover in woven leather, and yeah, it should be cool.
Yeah, it is super cool.
And last year's was, shaving, or last winter, or the last 2 winters project was shaving the firewall and fixing all the rust. I had a hole in the floorboard right by your left foot, and if you went through a puddle just right, the water would come off the left front tire, go through the hole, and hit you right in the face.
This is a good spot.
But I bought this truck in Longmont in 1991.
Wow.
From the dealership at 66 in Maine in Longmont.
So you've been hard at it for a hot
Well,
minute.
my dad and I owned it for like 4 years, never going to do anything with it. And do you know Dave Trevarton? It's got that junkyard on Sunset.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
thing sat there for 30 years. I
Wow.
sold it to Dave for $1,500. Sat there for 30 years. My 40th birthday, I was looking and I see his Craigslist ad, and I talked to his wife, and she goes, go ask him what you're looking for. He's down at Sunset in Longmont. I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot that's where my truck went. And I go down there and I walk up to him and I said, hey, do you remember me, Dave? He goes, sure, you're Don Yarbrough. He goes, how could I forget? Your truck's right over there. And I walked over and it was literally right where I had parked it.
That's funny.
Yeah, never moved. And when I bought it back from him, he sold it back to me for $1,500, and he handed me the same title.
That's wild.
It's still in my name. Yeah, so it never changed hands as far as the state's concerned.
So you just had some storage for.
Yeah, it was free storage for 30 years.
Yeah.
And I always joke that this was a 68-year-old, or this is the most expensive paint job on the planet because it took 68 years.
Right.
Because literally it's been sitting out there.
And it does have really cool patina
I
flavor.
didn't even
man.
recognize it because when I gave it to him, it was, see that color right there? Mm-hmm. The whole truck was that color. And it faded and went through the hood. The hood was red when I gave it to him.
Oh wow.
So, and all the
patina is just
all that
honest
primer
weather.
that was over the top of it all faded, and it turned into that.
That's sick.
So,
I like the Wally Speed Shop thing.
yeah, you know Wally?
I don't, but that's really cool.
He's just over in Longmont, or I'm sorry, in Loveland. Does
That's
a
cool.
little bit of everything, helps me with parts.
It is super cool.
It's been fun. The crazy thing about it is that somehow it works really good on an autocross track. Like, it handles great. And
It looked like you got all the right stuff in here,
well,
so.
yeah, but pure dumb luck. I mean, how did I happen to throw a C4 clip in there and it'll fit 315s on the front? Like, you got to do a lot of stuff to get 315s on most cars,
Yeah.
and it just happens to, it just works.
Even your little tubs are sweet.
Yeah, so that was the one little tweak I had to make in order to get 12-inch meats on the back. But
It turned out cool.
yeah, it's been fun. It's been apart, like totally apart, five different times.
Well, you're just figuring out what you like.
Yeah.
That is a pretty meaty back tire.
Yeah, so it's that's a no limit engineering fat bar 4-link on the back, and then it's got a chassis stiffener kit, but it's the stock frame rails. So
Dang.
like it's all still my truck, which is.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it's actually, I had a big back window cab that I had bought. I always wanted a big back window, so I was going to swap it.
5 window or just the big?
No, just the big one that goes all the way to here. And I brought it home, and I started doing it, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to have to live with the little window because this is my truck. And I'm
Yeah, and it does. It makes it cool.
Yeah.
Different.
So,
All right, well, let's get ripping it. Check her out. All right, we're gonna set up our torque pickup real quick and get this thing ready to dyno. What a cool dang truck. This is just awesome. Great to walk in on my birthday, see such a radical ride. All right, we're calibrated and ready to rip. So it does have a T56 in it then too.
Yeah, yep.
She's a manual.
yep. It's a T56 just like Josh's 4L80. It literally, I bought it at the swap meet, bolted it in
And that's it.
on borrowed time.
All right, this ride is ready for its first rip. What a cool deal. Yeah, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys think about that patina on this. 60-something years of aging to get to this spot. I think with the teal, or green, or whatever you want to call it, looks so good. Be pretty good. You need some fuel poured in her?
A lot of fuel. I just want to check the fuel pressure too. Yeah, 59, 60. Yep. So the fuel pressure is not falling. It just needs a gob of fuel. See?
Oh yeah, start running away on you right there at the end.
Oh, it was there though. I only made it to 4,000, like 4,200. I just wanted a picture.
With a lean air fuel like that, it's gonna pick up a bunch of power when he starts to feed it.
Wondering if I've got enough wire going to that fuel pump, so I just gotta, like, I might need to run some more voltage.
He said the fuel pressure was holding, so you got a sensor on that.
Now that I do, I never did.
So
now that I have
it all starts to spoil you a little bit.
Right.
All right, let's go again.
So I got the torque up now. We got 351 horsepower, 332 foot-pounds of torque. Looking pretty good. All right, what do we see in that one there?
You know, 12.4, 12.5 air fuel, 26 degrees. Or within, you know, within 5% of the fuel.
What kind of fuel's in it? Pump.
Yeah,
Okay.
pump gas.
Pretty dang good. 350 horsepower. All right, so when the vehicle's sitting still, you can actually set up your G meter. You just go to the internal acceleration and then calibrate. And now the ECU is set up, so now you can read acceleration G's, lateral G's, decel.
Yeah. And that's right. So it is set up horizontal, acceleration, direction, top side of the ECU.
Which ones are they?
They're the Pro Series with the 612 and 595. So it's heavy.
It's looking good. Let's check on the power.
Felt
Did
good.
we find the valve float?
No, that's the limiter.
Oh, is that the limiter?
That's the limiter. It comes in soft.
Sounds totally different.
Yeah, it's soft.
Yeah.
So you can drive up onto it and it's not a wall.
What?
You can drive up onto it and it's not a wall.
That's sweet. Sounds totally different.
357 with 339 foot-pounds.
What'd that make?
357.
And what did we make on the last one?
351.
Okay.
But it's getting smoother and smoother.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what
That's weird.
This is the limiter. See how progressive it is?
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
see
why
right here it's
so
at
long.
50% and it's at 67. But see, it comes on. Its first little 2% is at 66, and the limiter is at 68, I think. 66. No, it is at 66. Yeah. So it did start. That is pretty good.
So he's
We'll put
hoping
it on
it's
normal.
772, yeah. So you got O2s in both banks too and everything?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. It's rough when you can't see what's on the other other side,
right.
you know.
I meant to ask you that too. Would I don't have a crossover? Would it help or
Yes.
It would?
Absolutely. It'll free up the engine some.
Okay.
H-pipes work. They
Okay.
work really good.
Whether it's an H or a
Yeah.
Y or
just
or an
anything
X
that
or
connects
whatever.
them, yeah. Yeah, good header collectors and then good exhaust in the back. There's so much power to be found in the exhaust systems. It's
Right, right. I made sure this thing was 3-inch all the way back. It's not mandrel bent, so that might make a difference. There's a lot of bends in it.
it would probably be okay.
Yeah,
Being naturally aspirated, I wouldn't think it'd be too crazy.
right. Well,
Because it's
not gonna
dual
be,
3-inch, so
It's not going to be naturally aspirated forever.
yeah. That's a for now thing.
Right. It's going to get something.
Where's the high spot on the torque?
So when it's an RPM, the high on the torque is 4,800. 4.81 is 4,800.
4,800.
Yep. It's just after that I could use, I'd say like 52 up kind of thing. 5,200 up. Gonna put a little ignition timing in it and see if you can't pick her up in a pickup. Has it been charging?
Yeah, it's been charging real good.
What's it showing?
It's showing 12.1 right now. When I hit it, it goes down to 10.
Let's check the wire on the starter itself. It's not loose or something.
Huh?
Let's check that the wire on the starter's not loose. It looks.
Doesn't look like it. Nothing's cooked. Maybe that solenoid wire.
It's been charging at 14.
Solenoid wire?
Yeah, it looks like it is.
That's
See how
probably what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I see the nut.
You have a long extension,
Yeah.
and what is it? Probably 5/16.
Oh, yeah, that nut is loose. Yeah, I would think something like that.
Yeah, it's been. The one nut I forgot to tighten, and you guys found it.
It happens.
Found it.
And Brent fixed it without welding down there.
I was trying.
Nice job. Did
Did
you
it
leave
drop
the
the
socket
ratchet?
on there?
It fell to the ground.
Oh, it did.
Hey, it's better than welding on anything.
All right, nice work.
There we go.
Off and it hesitates for like 3 seconds before it shuts it off.
So
I don't know if it's where the switched wires are or what.
That
but
switch-
here, I'll just start it and show you. Oh, that time it went, of course. That time it just
Maybe
shut
this
right
was the
off.
problem.
That might have been. That might have been.
that probably was the problem because that's where it's getting its power.
Interesting.
That's where that switch goes directly there.
Well,
Oh yeah, then that's what it was.
Yeah. Fixed.
Man, we haven't used these things in so long. I really like it in this truck.
the what things?
The computer.
Oh,
thing-
you have the. Yeah, I haven't.
Little holders.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah, those are awesome.
I went to get in here this morning and I'm like, where is one of those things? I'm gonna use it today.
Our good friend in Australia made those
A few years back.
a few years back.
He made them?
Yeah.
Yeah, he made these. I just
Yeah,
had my
and
steering wheel.
I had mine modified to like
This is
go
yours.
flat. Yeah.
All right.
I need to get a fueltech steering wheel on the way.
They are nice.
They're like
need all 4 angles of this bad boy. Maybe. She's pissed? She's pissed right through there or what?
I don't know. It's something with the
Throttle?
But if I up it anymore, then it idles to the moon, but it runs normal there. Maybe tightening that nut changed my numbers a lot on that.
The amperage is different.
Because all the temp, this is the temp.
Yeah.
And then this is your idle position reference, so where it sits, so where it is when you start it. So say it goes to the 17. And that's my post start. That's what adds on top of it. That's why it's working good now.
All right. Got the idle situated again. Got a little bug there. Rolling. 327, she lost everywhere. Was it really heavy that time? It lost everywhere.
Yep. Just up top.
Like from the hit, it was just. It was a 327.
Even more timing and everything.
I'll check the cylinders.
Never seen any steam coming out of that catch can. And I'm
Oh.
wondering if my
You're not
previous
venting
valve
very
covers-
well. Where's the vents at?
Right here. One there and one there, and they both go into the catch can.
Oh, okay.
And I'm guessing before, maybe those things were clogged up because they were just stock GM ones.
Yeah.
Maybe they were clogged up and just not breathing.
Not breathing. All right. See if we can get our power back. When we tightened that nut, we found a couple little bugs, so see if we can't get her solved out now. Timing might
Fuel's within 1%.
may just pull that
Pull the
timing back just
out.
a little bit. All right. Very cool. Really weird deal. So you turn the power off on the key and it'll stay on for a second. So we're kind of looking at things here. Can't find any bugs.
See, they dim,
They dimmed.
but they stayed on.
Yep. there.
Shut
Just
right
shut
off
right
that
off
time.
that time. Yeah. Very interesting. Definitely something to keep an eye on.
Yep.
It seems like a relay's still just latched, you know?
Yeah, if I change anything with the throttle or any of that stuff. The throttle, 1A, it's going to read normal right now. It needs to be sitting at, 17s where we have it set right now. So if it starts and won't idle, something's changed with the throttle. So you just have to come here to TPS pedal, click calibrate 0%, then floor it, calibrate 100%, then you'll hit save, and it'll run through its stuff and it'll move it. Calibrated successfully, and then it'll go back to 17.
So why do we know why it's changing?
Yeah, if I adjust the throttle stuff, basically it's changing
For
its
idle.
zone. So then you just have to recalibrate it
Oh, so
every time
so
something
it-
changes.
So if I get on the phone with you guys and you need to change something, I'm gonna have to do that actively there because you can't
I can't push this pedal
Right.
for you.
through the computer. Come on, dude.
I wish I could. It'd make life easier. But so if it ever, you start it and it doesn't just idle on its own like that, calibrate that TPS. Because that's what we noticed. It was sitting here at 4%, and then I keyed it on and wouldn't do what I was telling it. But it's because we just changed numbers and not calibrated.
So every time you change the numbers, we really need to calibrate
On the
that.
idle or...
On the idle or the throttle or
the
any of that
throttle.
stuff.
Okay. But now, right now, if you just pin it, it's got a little bit of a hesitation, but not much, right? Cool.
So
Shut right off that time.
I know it's weird. It's like sometimes off, sometimes not.
Something gets latched.
Yeah.
What a cool ride. Good job, bro. This thing turned out sweet. Very cool.
We get best number was 357 at the
357, yep.
and 350 torque.
Yeah. The torque is awesome.
Yeah.
But that's why we think we had that one that had the low power because the voltage and stuff changed, and so it wasn't full throttle.
It said it was full throttle, but it wasn't because we had to recalibrate it after I changed a bunch of stuff with the throttle.
Okay,
The one that
so
was
when it went to
327?
329, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yep.
So it never got to wide open throttle.
Right.
It thought it was, but it wasn't.
$100 for the parts and
The nitrous is nice.
nitrous setup, right?
Yep. Definitely. It definitely has its advantages.
Yeah, I mean, I get
It
it.
just has its advantages and disadvantages.
Right, you're
'cause You
chasing-
got bottle pressures, you got to fill the bottles. There's turbos, they're just there.
Yeah. Right.
Supercharger, it's there, but then supercharger, you're fighting temps.
Right.
They all have their ups and downs.
Yeah, they really
So
do.
for me,
If you're on top of your nitrous game, it's not too bad.
It's
But if
pretty simple, yeah.
right.
you got to chase bottles around and get that stuff handled
I
somewhere
mean, we could be
else, that's
we could
pain.
be 550 at the tire with that same nitrous kit Josh has.
Yep,
Without breaking a
100%.
sweat.
Yep,
And I don't have to change anything in the engine.
nothing. Just put her there, let her rip. Turbos, the power could be it could go through the roof real quick.
Kind of same goes for a turbo motor, right? Like, I don't really need any.
No,
I don't need anything to put a turbo on this.
No,
thing,
no.
Other than
the turbos, the injectors, and
right.
yeah,
That's
make
about
sure
it.
they got enough pump and that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess my biggest fear with a turbo is, there's a lot of situations where I go around a tight hairpin and then need to be able to floor it out of that tight hairpin from 10 miles an hour.
Yeah. The traction control stuff will handle a lot of it, but
Well, am I going to be able to get it to spool?
oh
that
yeah,
quick.
oh yeah, you can make them light.
You can make them spool.
Yeah,
quick,
that part doesn't matter nowadays.
right. So they're better now.
Yes.
But if we were to avoid all that, then what am I looking at? I'm looking at more head and more camshaft, or
Yeah,
cubic
probably.
inches.
I mean, all of it would help.
Right. Right. I mean, those are basically stock LS3 heads you know, L92 heads off of a Denali, which are supposed to be the same as a LS3. I think without titanium valves, I think that's the only difference between an L92 and an LS3 head. And then I've got a, you know, comp 275. What did you end up setting the rev limiter at?
Rev limiter is at 7.
At 7, because I noticed we went quite a bit higher. That'll help. That 400 RPM is going to make a big difference.
It's got springs, retainers, all that in it already.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So it's, even if it's, you know,
losing a little bit, it's just going to put you in a better spot.
it's the run out that I want.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if it's not making power anymore. I just don't want it. I mean, the old limiter was like hitting the brakes.
Yeah.
This one isn't. It'll
Right.
stay.
Yeah, I do like how the fueltech limiter works. It's
Right.
pretty soft.
Is there anything I got to do to set up the burnout mode on this thing too?
So just set the burnout mode up.
So when he turns it on, it'll be off, and then he just has to click it on.
Hit the dash, turn it on, turn it back off.
Yeah.
Burnout mode engaged. Very cool. Lost a ramp.
I wasn't going to go all the way on.
We were just... Oh, the front too. He's got a little reference there. Got her now.
A lot more, that top end's huge.
Yeah.
That 400 RPM is big. Yeah, it makes a big difference. Like, it's got a lot more run out than it used to.
Heck yeah.
So,
It sounded good. When you were blasting down the road, we were like, dang, it sounds good.
yeah, it sounds nice. Old Flowmaster 40 series Flowmasters. I've toyed with changing them, but
It sounds good. It's crisp.
yeah, they sound pretty good.
Awesome.
Sweet.
What a great birthday gift to come in today, see that truck, have some cool rips, and have a good time. You're gonna absolutely enjoy that truck. You'll see it on the channel more. We've got some more plans to do with it, so you guys will see it soon. We appreciate you guys watching. Give us a like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys all tomorrow.